So here's my push-up progression. I want the forearms to be vertical. So they are about here. And that sets up nicely for the shoulder blades to be tilted forward rather than here, but to bring the elbow forward to tilt the shoulder blade. The second aspect is a lot of people will want to flare their elbows instead of bringing them here. And one of the first things I'll do is just have people push into the mat without their shoulder blades coming up. So getting used to having this forward tilt with pressure into the ground and just oscillate or hold, and being aware that they might push and one shoulder typically will come up, if not both, or an elbow will flare. Then I'll keep everybody on their knees, and then as they progress, they go higher and higher until they come up. And then going down is oftentimes the hardest part of learning to bend through the elbows. Or bending over the elbows and keeping the shoulder blades forward, which will load the tricep a lot more. Also shows up some asymmetries, but this also will expose some, will help them anteriorly tilt their shoulder blade or load their tricep. Is going from kind of this, the push up here to this Sphinx position where elbows are flat on the ground. And I might just go in a circle. If I move the hands further back or my head further forward, then I will encourage more side bending. And usually there's one side that's easier than another, or that shoulder blade doesn't tilt as far forward as possible. But then you can have a variation of a push-up here where it's more like this, which is going to load the shoulders differently. The bottom arm, this would be like a very far knees over toes kind of squat for the tricep, where the tricep gets loaded a lot. That I have will be a one-arm push-up. So it's going to be more like crawling, where they need the opposite leg pretty high, and this arm I just rest on the back. And so most people with can't do this yet, or especially with some sort of shoulder weakness or devolution, will shift their weight onto their knee, which makes sense. This is really hard. The goal would be, can they maintain their weight stacked on that arm as they go up and down? Again, same progression as before, where I would just have them learn to pulse and push without coming off the ground much before they come up higher. Give you all a side view. This is what it'll look like. Further with the left shoulder, further forward. left shoulder? More? There you go.
I feel like I'm uneven.
You are. Your left is higher. Still higher. That's it.
I feel like I'm like tilting to the right.
You're not. It's just your. That's your what you perceive as normal.
Right. Okay.
I would exaggerate even further. That's it. This is partially. Regression from the dragon squat with the PVC pipe in bear position, where you'll have them twist or set up with that foot flat, ankle is somewhat inverted here, and if they can keep both hands flat, that would be great as they slide down into that hip as best they can. Try to keep the foot flat. The more knee forward they can get, the better. And then if they have the mobility to have this twist in their thoracic spine, fantastic, as then they can come back up into bear, or just hold this position and then go from here all the way down. Not trying to use that leg really too much other than a kickstand. And then back up. This position can also be useful for getting some first metatarsal contact with the ground and pronation, as well as some ankle inversion, getting that crease below the heel or ankle bone on the inside, as well as forward and backward into more tibial internal rotation, knee flexion, hip external rotation. I've even gone to lifting the heel and keeping the heel in the air and going down for more soleus work. If they need more soleus work or a stiffer foot is where this will really be helpful. So yeah.